Good afternoon all. Today we're going to fly through Contacts 2.6, the on-note callback. I'm going to try and inject a little bit more into this because it is so simple. So, the note callback, whenever a note on message, and it's important to note note on is different to letting go of a key. It's not going to give you another on note. That's going to give you on release. When you do push on a note, you're going to get the on note callback. Okay, so the on note callback here is going to send us a message saying the note number, and this is all in quotation marks, and then it's going to add in the event note. And this is Contacts or Native Instruments scripting here so that you cannot change this. There are a number of event underscore note velocity pan, that kind of stuff that we'll get into as well. And then we're adding on the velocity, how hard you've pushed it, and the event velocity. So some of the more interesting things are in the C also here, and probably a really, really exciting one is set event parameter. And if I skip down to the set event parameter here, you'll see that set event parameter takes an ID number, a parameter, and then a value. So, for instance, we could write the ID number of the event, the parameter being either one of the 4 freely assignable event parameters, so 0, 1, 2, 3, because it is counting from 0, or the built-in parameters of a note event, so volume, pan, tune, note, velocity. So, for instance, microtonal stuff could be done with event parameter tuning. And then velocity sensitive stuff can be done here. Pan stuff, if you're trying to do something crazy that kind of flies around, could be done with event parameter pan. Each of these can be changed as well. Okay, so a note event always carries certain information like the note number, the played velocity, the volume, the pan, and the tune. And so with set event parameter, you can actually change these or add in additional functionality because of the fact that you can play with it as much as possible. So for instance, you could set your on note to set event parameter and then event ID, the note that you are pushing, or the time that you are pushing the note, and then what note it is, and set it to 60. So this actually changes all the notes to middle C, no matter what you push. And you could use change note event ID this way, or set event parameter, which is a little bit better than change note just because you can put it inside the on note capability. And you'll see that there's some more C alsos here, as there always is in Contact. So we're just going to fly through and get this one going just to make sure that it's all good. So jumping into Logic, we're going to boot it up, the script editor, and just start an on note and set a message, the note number with a space, ampersand, $ event note. So that's adding in, so it's going to say note number, and then we're going to get a number between 0 and 127 of what note to play, which is the 88 notes of C0 to C8. Well, C0 to A8, I think it is. And then the lower 2 octaves of the -2 that is in most DAWs nowadays. And then we're also going to get the velocity. Now, I'm just using the, this keyboard, the musical typing keyboard, just because I don't want to go and connect up my little Arturia, but you could use whatever you want. Obviously, you're going to get better velocity, so I'll try and make this as clear as possible. So we're not going to get anything straight away when we hit apply because we are just waiting for a note to happen. So when I open this up, if I hit any note, it's going to show me what note number they are and what velocity I'm playing them at. So if I change my velocity a few times and hit it again, we see that my velocity changes as well. Now, it's giving me note number not in C, D, E, F, whatever. Try and have a think of another script that you could use to do that. you don't actually really need to know, unless you are building some kind of like chord recognition device, or like a maybe a guitar playing kind of thing that needs that. I'll have a look at doing that. For now, I want to really follow the manual sort of as close as possible, just to make sure I'm covering everything. Maybe at the end of the 2 point, at the end of these, I might look at doing some of those. So if you can think of anything that uses some of these functions that you'd like to see, just hit me up, or write me a comment, or whatever, and I'll see if I can put something together, because that would be a much better way to learn, rather than me just sort of showing you and running through this manual. Except that is what I want to do, but sort of towards the end it'd be better to do that. So that's OnNote, really nice and simple, handy for when you're going to use like key switches to change articulations, or to change dynamic levels, or to change effects. You know, there's a lot of different libraries that use this kind of functionality. Probably not in this way particularly, which is just telling you what you're playing. There are a couple of really cool ways you could use this to turn on and off effects, and trigger arpeggiators and things like that. So otherwise, I will see you in 2.7. Thanks, guys.